Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at the Parmigiani Kalpa Qualite Fleurier limited edition. You can see this one of 50 Qualite Fleurier white gold Parmigiani Kalpa on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this screen at any time to see our complete listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high-resolution photos, and pricing information. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This watch has the form, but not necessarily the overbearing size of many other Parmigiani, Tonda, and Kalpa references. Now you can see the characteristic case with its unique separate teardrop-style lugs is present and accounted, but it's actually quite compact. Now, 34 millimeters across the broad of the case, not including the crown. The watch is a nice tucked and nipped 46 millimeters from the extremity of one teardrop to its opposite number. So it'll span nicely across the wrist thanks to the camber of the case with those lugs, but it won't overlap the edges of your wrist. Even though tonneau watches have a reputation for wearing large, this one wears compact. It's also delightfully thin, being only 9.5 millimeters thick, and you can see how the case flank is nicely sloped to accommodate a tight sleeve or dress cuff. This is an easy watch to wear, but with that white gold construction, it's hefty. It's a nice watch to hold and to behold. You can also see a clever trick that Parmigiani uses in the design of the strap to lug interface. These are straight spring bars, so they don't conform to the flank of the case. They don't press against it and fight the curve of your wrist. They don't want to flare. You can pull them straight down if you have a smaller wrist. And the reason that they don't have the daylight between the case and strap that is generally germane to straight springs or straight spring bars is because they are underslung. They're very cleverly tucked beneath the watch so that although they have unlimited flexibility like straight pin bars, they also have the clean integrated look of conforming strap ends. Very nicely done by Parmigiani. Now you get a beautiful, simple 18-karat white gold Parmigiani branded pin buckle to match, and like everything else in the Parmigiani empire, it's built completely by the Parmigiani family of companies. And it is worth mentioning that everything in this watch, the dial, the case, the movement, absolutely all of the parts of the movement are constructed by Parmigiani's battery of specialist manufacturers. So this is about as in-house as a product gets. And we're going to talk a little bit about what makes this watch special because it bears the Qualite Fleurier stamp on both the dial, where it's actually an applied element, and the case back, where you can see the stamp embossed on the movement itself. Now, Qualite Fleurier is a special standard originally envisioned in 2001, established in practice since 2004, created by a number of companies in the Fleurier region of Val de Travers, Neuchâtel, Switzerland. And essentially, they wanted to have something that was the equivalent of a Geneva hallmark in terms of what it said about the standard of finish, precision, and durability of the movement. And in some respects, it went a little bit beyond, because Qualite Fleurier does apply to the movement, but it also includes a stress test for a sample movement, COSC testing for every individual movement that receives the QF certification, as well as a fully cased up Fleur test, which is essentially COSC+. There is a deviation standard over 24 hours that simulates wear on an actual wrist. There are also aesthetic standards that mirror the finish requirements of the Poinçon de Genève. So it's really a very comprehensive standard, and I'll mention that our watchmaker here at Watch You Want, Mike Michaels, was the first American to be Qualite Fleurier certified to work on these movements for a factory, Chopard in this case, so we're quite proud of him. But it is this Parmigiani Kalpa that presents to us today, and a beautiful watch it is. A lot of people like the Parmigiani look, but because the watches tend to be overbearing and oversized, many can't wear the watch despite admiring it. This is a beautiful example of discrete size with outgoing design. So the watch is 46 from lug to lug, 34 across, and everything inside this dial, built by Parmigiani and beautifully considered beautiful in blue. There is a matte blue finish outboard with applied elements, white gold, the Arabic numeral 12, as well as all of the hour indices. You can see the balance of the dial. There's the Parmigiani marquee above the cannon pinion and Qualite Fleurier below. A beautiful multi-date shows you the current, preceding, and succeeding date, and you can see it is a certified chronometer as attested at 6 o'clock. That's part of the Qualite Fleurier certification. You can also see a little bit of the movement glancing through, and there's a beautiful metallic grain, a sort of circular not guilloche, but a circular graining, a texture to the center that gives the watch a lot of personality and the dial a lot of depth. You can see how it reacts in the light box. Very dynamic. Now on the case back, Qualite Fleurier certified. This is the Parmigiani reference PF331. Now it's based on a well-known dual-barrel 55-hour power reserve voucher movement with an exceptional pedigree. It's a movement also seen in high-end Richard Mille watches. Again, 55-hour power reserve via the twin mainspring barrels that you can see peeking out the barrel bridges up here, and that ensures very even torque and superb chronometric performance throughout the entirety of the power reserve. It does feature hacking, pull the crown, stop the seconds, stop the balance, synchronize precisely, as well as a quick set for the date. But what really sets this apart is that it's finished to an extraordinary standard. This is where the high-resolution photos on our website really help me out, because I can't adequately communicate just how well done this movement is. The Côte de Genève are not generic. They have a beautiful depth, texture, and gradient to them. All of the screws featured chamfered slots as well as circumferences around them. All of the bridges have beautiful anglage across their edges. There are no burrs, there are no marks of machining, nothing is left raw, and there's a beautiful rose-lathe guilloche pattern on the gold winding mass. This is as good as it gets outside the city of Genève, and you really should check it out in high-resolution images on our website, watchyouwant.com. An exceptional watch, one of 50 made, a COSC certified chronometer, and so much more. You can see this limited edition white gold Parmigiani Fleurier Kalpa Qualite Fleurier on our website, watchyouwant.com.